She knew that I was a plant-based chef. She wanted, and correct me if I'm wrong, to highlight the beauty of Caribbean food in a way that is generally never presented. If you saw the ad that I posted, this is a first of its kind event. Caribbean food has never been presented in a whole foods, Ayurvedic, fine dining atmosphere. So you all are the first to ever experience this. You have on your tables several things. So you have the menu. The menu is 3 pages. The menu is 1 page. Then the health benefits is a double-sided 3-pager. You can take your time and read through it. You have our cards. You've been served some sorrel, which is sorrel is actually cousin to hibiscus. It's not actually hibiscus. It has massive, massive benefits, especially for your heart. Anytime you see something red, you think heart health. It doesn't matter what, because of the anthocyanin, the antioxidant that gives it the red color, you think heart health. What helps the heart helps the brain. Right? You see red? So you had the sorrel. Now I'm giving you a tamarind, date, ginger aperitif. It's to whet the appetite. It is to signal to the stomach to open it up, to say food is coming. Prepare yourself. For people who have a weak digestive system, whether you have IBS or any other kind of digestive issue and food is not your friend, tamarind and ginger will be your best friend. Tamarind because it supports the liver, that helps to break down fat, plus it's your main energy center. And ginger is just your best friend in life. If you have a problem, the answer is ginger. Always. It doesn't matter. Husband, headache. Now I'm gonna feel some ginger. What do you think my husband's not here? So I want you to experience this as a bit of a journey. If you saw my post, one of my posts, Caribbean food is part of a legacy. You are all, what you eat tonight is part of a legacy. This is food that has been created out of tragedy into triumph. Our ancestors that were taken from Africa, from India, from China, unwillingly so, brought with them their knowledge, their wisdom, their skill, their talents, and whatever they could chuck up in a little pocket if they were so blessed to have pants that had a pocket, and bring with them little bits and pieces of what was their home. And together they arrived in these countries where they had to now share together. Everybody's foreign, nobody knows anybody, and become one people. Our food in the Caribbean has traveled across the 7 seas from India and China, down the seas through Africa, and dropped in all the different islands. The islands have been conquered by the Dutch, the Spanish, the French, the Portuguese, and lastly the British. Before our people were slaves and indentured laborers, the Irish were there too. So in our food, there's also Irish influence. If you were from Barbados or if you're from Jamaica, there's strong Irish influence in there as well. So when I say you are partaking of a legacy, what I'm saying to you is, when these people came, when our ancestors came together and they had nothing but each other and their skills and their history, they met up with the Caribs and the Arawaks, the indigenous people of the islands, and created a food that is indigenous to our islands. You can only find this food where we exist. Indian people in India don't make our food. Africans don't make our food. We have taken some of their skills, some of their herbs, some of their techniques. For example, I'll give you a quick example before we get started. I was watching a show on a documentary called High on the Hog. If you've never seen it, I was bawling and crying throughout the entire time. So there's a time when they go to Benin, which is on the shoreline of, I think it's on the west coast of Africa, where some of the slaves were taken through. And they went to see a very well-known chef in the area, and she was serving breakfast. So she started frying up egg and tomatoes, and she starts telling the fellow, well, this is our breakfast. And I pointed to the TV and said, no, that's my breakfast. My dad's been making that for me my whole life. Bread and egg and tomatoes, that's a staple in a Trinidadian home. jollof rice, bread and egg, caramelizing your meat with sugar. These are things that we've taken from our African ancestors. Turmeric, ginger, cumin, these are things that our Indian ancestors have brought to us, but they have been now grown in the fertile Caribbean soil, which is not Indian soil. It is not African soil. It belongs to us. It has a different flavor. It has a different value to us. So even herbs, when you eat watercress from Toronto and you eat watercress in Trinidad, when my nanny used to give me pilau and cress on the side, oh my God, it's so bitter, so bitter. Thank God you're not getting that watercress. You're getting watercress, but not the bitter one. But it's the soil makes the difference. So when I say that you are eating food that is a legacy, triumph over tragedy, what you are eating today, and every time you visit Laz's restaurant, you are eating our ancestors' love, what they created and what we are now continuing to pass on to all of you and whoever is going to be blessed to eat our food. And I know that sounds a little bit prideful, but I am blessed. I'm very blessed. My sister told me that a few months ago, she said my secret power is that I'm a healer. Was that it? I don't know.
There's a lot of things, but
my secret power is that I can use food to heal. So that's what I say when I tell you that people are blessed to eat our food, mine and Laz. It's not only because of our legacy and our skill and the blessings that come from our heart, but because there's something special that goes into that food, a special kind of love. So I hope you enjoy. As I said, if you don't like the food, that's okay. You don't have to like the food, you just don't need to tell me. Yep. The tamarind, what we're starting with, your aperitif. So can I borrow your menu real quick?